Welcome to Consults Here Inc. and Interlink IQ. To conduct a document review utilizing the Water Treatment Program under the SQF Module 11.5.2, first check if the document title matches the uploaded file name on the dashboard. In this instance, we do have the same titles as the Water Treatment Program. Next, both must have the same document code. For this example, we do have 11.5.2P0. Since this is a template, we indicate the PCQI as the account initials. However, we can customize the code based on the company's initials. For the page number, we use the page X of Y format, ensure that it reflects the current page position and the total page number of the document. Then insert the company logo here, together with the company name, the company address, and enter the designated department. For the originated by section, it can be the food safety, quality assurance, or the quality control personnel of the company. The originator ensures the implementation of the quality management and document control system. Enter the name of the originator, affix the signature, input the position title, and the date originated. For the reviewed by section, it can be the personnel assigned in the Quality Management Department who reviews the drafted document or its revision for accuracy and implementation. Enter the name of the reviewer, affix the signature, input the position title, and the date reviewed. For the approved by section, it must be the person in the C-level management who has approval authority. Enter the name of the approver, affix the signature, input the position title, and the date approved. The revision date is the same as the date originated or drafted by the author. For the effective date, it is the date the document was signed and approved. The publication date is when the document is published for distribution and initiated personnel training. The implementation date is when the document is distributed and personnel training is completed. For the supersedes, put original for the initial issuance of the document. For any revisions, reflect the initial revision date before the current revision. Please be reminded that this section must be properly filled out to be compliant. Now we will focus on the components of the program. First is purpose. The purpose is the implementation of any certification standard or compliance with a regulatory requirement. For this program, it is for implementation with the SQF Module 11 Edition 9 for food manufacturing under Clause 11.5.2. First, to implement SQF 11.5.2.1, water treatment methods, equipment, and materials, if required, shall be designed, installed, and operated to ensure water receive effective treatment. Water treatment equipment shall be monitored regularly to ensure it remains serviceable. Water used as an ingredient in processing or for cleaning and sanitizing equipment shall be tested and, if required, treated to maintain potability. Second, to implement SQF 11.5.2.2, water used as an ingredient in processing or for cleaning and sanitizing equipment shall be tested and, if required, treated to maintain potability, which may refer to 11.5.2.1. And third, to implement SQF 11.5.2.3, treated water shall be regularly monitored to ensure it meets the specified indicators. Water treatment chemicals usage shall be monitored to ensure chemical residues are within acceptable limits. Records of testing results shall be kept. The second component of the program is scope. The scope of the program is based on the purpose and serves as a guide in defining and describing the layout of the procedure, which includes water treatment and water testing. Third is policy. The policies are the rules set by the company as their implementation guide. Chemical treatment of water is required to maintain the correct pH or chemical balance in boilers, heaters, or as an ingredient. Treatment is controlled and carefully monitored where the above are required. Any water used in the manufacturing or sanitation process is verified as potable. Water and boiler treatment chemicals are approved and properly stored. The fourth component of the program is procedure. The procedure is the step-by-step process and the actual implementation of the policy. Under water treatment, first is collection. Collect samples from a chosen sampling point. Second is screening and straining. Place a large metal screen in front of the sampling point intake so that large particles pass through the water. Third is coagulation and flocculation. Add chemicals to help make the floating suspended particles clump together, forming a heavier and gelatinous particle. A coagulant is added to water, and its positive charge neutralizes the negative charge of a suspended contaminants. After the water is coagulated, it can be filtered through an ultrafiltration or microfiltration membrane or a medium filter to remove the settled particles. The settling system uses a tank to remove suspended particles from water. These particles, which have a higher density than the water, fall to the bottom of the tank. Common contaminants removed through settling include fats, greases, hair, sand, grit, wood, bottles, and sludge. Fourth is sedimentation and clarification. Water passes over the weir in the flocculator and travels to the clarifier center. Suspended particles are removed. Fifth is filtration. Clarified water enters the filters from the top. Gravity pulls the water down through the filters where it is collected. And the types of filtration methods include 1. Reverse osmosis. During this process, a semi-permeable membrane is used to remove ions and unwanted particles. This process can remove both chemicals and bacteria, resulting in potable water safe for food and beverage production. 2. Carbon filtration. Activated carbon filters can reduce organic compounds and chemicals found in drinking water. It can dissolve radon, minimize lead quantity, and remove solvents, pesticides, and industrial wastes. It's crucial to note that activated carbon filtration does not remove metals, nitrate, or microbial contaminants. 3. Is ion exchange. During ion exchange treatment, unwanted contaminants are removed from the water and replaced with a non-harmful substance. Ions can be positive or negative, and the replacement substance must have the same type of electric charge. Keep in mind that ion exchange is a broad treatment and can remove numerous contaminants, including beneficial ones. And 4. The settling system uses a tank to remove suspended particles from water. These particles, which have a higher density than the water, fall to the bottom of the tank. Common contaminants removed through settling include fats and greases, hair, sand, grit, wood, bottles, and sludge. Sixth is disinfection. Sufficient amount of chlorine is added to the filtered water. Monitor levels of chlorine concentration. Avoid adding excess amounts that may lead to problems with the taste and odor. The types of disinfection methods include 1. Chlorination, where in-plant chlorination of water is required for washing, rinsing, or cleaning purposes. A free residual chlorine level of 0.25 ppm after 20 minutes of contact time is recommended. Inline chlorination that provides higher free residual chlorine levels at specific points is also acceptable. Regular sampling and residual chlorine testing are implemented to ensure a safe water supply. And 2. UV disinfection. Ultraviolet rays come from the sun, though invisible to the naked eye, and are an effective water treatment option because of their germicidal properties. It can disinfect water from bacteria, viruses, and even protozoans. 7th is storage. Store treated water in an elevated secured tank. And 8th, distribution. Select areas that can be distributed with treated water. Next is water testing. As a minimum, request testing for biological hazards such as coliforms and E. coli. There should be no E. coli detected in your sample submitted. A test for enteroviruses and fecal indicators may be an option. Examples: Salmonella spp, Shigella spp, enterovirulent E. coli, Vibrio cholerae, Yersinia enterocolytica, Campylobacter jejuni, and Protozoa. Any water used in the operation that could come in contact with the product or for personal hygiene purposes is verified to comply with local and national standards. For requirements, water used in the processing operation is from a microbiologically potable source. This is confirmed through testing by a certified third-party laboratory. For example, in the US and Australia, the potability standard for drinking water is less than 1 caliform per 100 ml water, and membrane filtration is the preferred method. However, standards also apply for Salmonella spp, Shigella spp, enterovirulent E. coli, Vibrio cholerae, Yersinia enterocolytica, Campylobacter jejuni, and Protozoa. The cleanliness of the water supply should be verified biannually or annually. For requirements, any municipal water source is tested annually, and well water is tested quarterly. Samples are drawn from various sites throughout the facility and test records are maintained. Fifth is responsibility. The responsibility of the person is indicated. It covers what to perform to comply with the procedure or the policy. For the quality control personnel, collect samples from chosen sampling points. Perform in-house testing of microbiological and physicochemical for water. Send samples to duly accredited third-party laboratories. And monitor status and quality of treated water running in the facility. For the water treatment personnel, perform water treatment process and directly reports to senior management if there are lapses in a water treatment facility. For the Preventative Control Qualified Individual or PCQI, oversee overall compliance of this procedure, ensure all personnel are trained on this procedure, take corrective actions if necessary, and perform a visual inspection of the involved areas of this procedure. And for the senior management, secure that water source for potable and non-potable water are from a known and reliable source. Ensure adequate supply of potable water for processing needs. Verify if the program is adhered to, and take corrective actions if necessary. The corrective action is the process of taking appropriate steps to eliminate causes of nonconformities or other undesirable situations. Isolate appropriate water outlets or tanks until satisfactory microbiological test results are obtained. Stop production where no potable supply can be provided. Review sampling and testing procedures. Improve staff instructions and training. In events of contamination, a review and validation of the water supply procedures shall be conducted to assess the sources of contamination in the water supply system of the facility, and revise water supply procedures if needed. Seventh is review quality. The review section serves as guidelines for conducting the annual or periodic review, annual review of water treatment procedures, and annual review of records and interviews with operating personnel. The evidence includes: water treatment is performed as per written instructions. Water treatment that is carried out is appropriate. Water treatment is carried out using approved chemicals. Water treatment equipment is regularly monitored. And treated water is regularly monitored. Eighth is reference documents. The reference documents are the set of documents used to implement and monitor a program, policy, or procedure, which includes the water treatment monitoring and water test analysis. Ninth is references. The reference section is composed of guides utilized to implement the program. Examples are the certification guide, regulations, and other widely accepted scientific journals, research, and the like. It must comply with the standard format citation, which can be based on either MLA, APA, or Chicago style, and update the access date. Lastly, history. The history section is where we can update the program if there are any changes or revisions made in the document. If there is a revision, enter the revision number, followed by the revision date, the description of the change made, then the name of the author or the originator, and the title or department of the author or the originator. Thank you for participating in this document review. Content presented are for training purposes only and are based on the interpretation of standards and best practices, and must be customized for your intended use. To fully customize your programs, policies, procedures, forms for records, and lessons for training, you may contact Interlink IQ or Consultier Inc. at services@interlinkiq.com, or you may call 202-982-3002. For free access, visit interlinkiq.com.